Hello. So today I will be talking about my 18-month-old baby's book collection. I'm going to add a snippet somewhere here so you can have a look at the entire collection. And this tiny box, obviously it is an ever-evolving box, is what my 18-month-old daughter has right now. And again, this is something that we have just started building for her. It was a very conscious decision to introduce books to her. And I think one book that she loves the most is this. I will be talking about all the books here. Okay, some are making noises also. So I will be talking about all these books here, as you can see. But I think amongst this is her favorite book. And a lot of parents who are into reading to their kids would know about this book. There are several others which are not here. I don't have them with me at the moment. But this particular book really came in handy when this is the book that I used to kind of introduce the idea of books with her. So The Lion Inside, I will start with this book to begin with. This was introduced to her when she was, I think, 8 months old. And it is a pictorial book, as you can see. It has a lot of pictures. So she loves animals, by the way. So it has her favorite Ellie, it has her lion, and then of course the mouse. So it is very, very expressive that way. And highly recommended. And the good thing about this book is that it's a board book. Now also I have written a blog on the entire book collection, how it all came together, because for me it was again a very conscious decision that I didn't want to invest into books that I see online, and I didn't want to just jump onto that book and buy it just because of popular opinion. So for me, I think less is more, because she is not at that stage right now where she respects books as much. So whatever interaction she has with books is with either me or with my husband. Like, there always has to be an adult around her. There are certain books, I think this is one book that we can leave her with because it's a board book, and see, its edges are rounded, the cover is board book, and it's very difficult for her to kind of bite into these papers. They are pretty. Spillage also is not so much an issue, at least has not been so far with this one. However, she did spoil a book of hers, The Hungry Caterpillar. Yeah, that was the name that was missing. So we lost that book to an incident that happened with us some time back, but that's a story for another day. Now I want to start by telling that this book, the one book that I just spoke about, The Lion Inside, was my purchase. Like, I deliberately went ahead, researched and got this book for her. But in my collection, in her collection, if I may say, there are a lot of books that are hands-me-down. So for example, this book, the Jungle Pop-Up book. You would see these kind of books these days everywhere, right? You won't believe this is at least a 2-decade-old book, more than a 2-decade-old, if I may say. And my mother had preserved it for so long. I don't know what was she thinking, but this was one of the book that is part of her collection now. It belonged to me and my sister, and you can see how old it already is. Like, it's really dirty and all, even though I've sanitized it. But all I'm saying is that these are also the kind of books that are part of her collection, because I don't mind exposing her to books that are hands-me-down. I think that's the best way to learn. Another book that is a hands-me-down, or we call it like an interactive book. So this is how it is. So there's braille also here, and you can just so for phonics and all, it has several activities. Obviously she's not taken to those yet, but all I'm saying is that this is again a hand-me-down book that belonged to me and my sister, and we have kept it for her. And she actually loves playing with it because she sees me work on my laptop most of the time. So she likes the idea of, just typing something onto it. So that is why. But again, we can't leave her alone with this book also. Then I have this book, which used to be my favorite growing up. It's a play-along kind of a piano book. It comes with its own piano. It's highly functional, even after, I think, 2.5 decades. And there are all these songs with the notes that can be played here. So it's a good addition also, I think, to her collection. Then we have some other books. So yes, this is another category of book which I feel is equally important because this is more moral stories to begin with. See what she's done to the cardboard already. But exciting thing about this book is that it is coming from the publisher Physics Wala, and I was really curious to see what they've done with kids book collection, and they've done a good job because see, I'm not going to talk about the book quality and all, because for the price I paid for it, I'm getting what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 stories to tell my kid, right? And these are all like your stories inspired from folklores and all of that. So it's a pretty good collection. The elephant and the mice, then you have the fox and the grapes, and so on and so forth. So several stories in one pack you can get, and you can just, it's a good read during bedtime. And there are some pictures, and it's also colored, so it's good, it's really good. I like it. I mean, I like reading it out to her, but it's like requires a lot of concentration from both the reader and the kid. So you have to really give time around this book. And so Physics Wala collection, and this is a collection that was given to me by a friend. A friend gifted it to her. Again, very short stories, but phonics based. So these kind of tragic incidents keep happening with us. I think one day I found this book soaking in water. So this is what happens, when you leave kids with books. So for as long as they're not old enough to understand and to give the due respect to the books, I think it's best that they are, under the guidance of a guardian around these books, right? But it's a collection of flashcards, if I may say, like this. This is from a favorite brand of mine called Storio, and I have been purchasing a lot of things from Storio lately. So what happens is, so these are flashcards, okay? I will show you the quality. Let's have a look at the different themes that are there here. Animals in the baby's name, their colors and shades, numbers, birds, vegetables, fruits, and alphabets. Now let's go one by one over these flashcards. You will get an idea of why I think it's a good collection to have, for your kid, because see, this is how the flashcards look like. So A, apple. There's an image of apple as well. B, ball. I think they could have given a little more information on the phonics behind it. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Because for other cards, they have done that, and then there's this kind of a card at the end with the entire ABCD written on it, both in small and capital letter. And then there's an activity going on, match the following of sorts. So great job there. So they have given a good information behind the cards as well. I mean, they try to utilize the card as much as possible. So for example, this card for Finch, the image is visible, the name is written. At the back, there are certain, pointers mentioned about the finch. Like finches are small, brightly colored birds. They primarily eat grass, weeds, and seeds, so on and so forth. But I think it would have been better if, for the parents itself, they had given the pronunciation also, for the transcription for pronunciation as well. It would have made our job really easy, because there are certain names, that even I, as a double master's in literature, find it difficult to pronounce. So it would have come a little handy. Just a suggestion, nothing against them. And then there is a tool like this which uses several flashcards. Now the flashcards are missing, but the moment you insert the flashcard, this one is going to pronounce the letter. And again, the flashcards have different themes, foods, vegetables, animals, names, numbers, and so on and so forth. So a good investment again. And then I have these activity books that I recently got for her, still packed. So this is, for example, these are called the busy book. These are activity books. So this is for alphabets, for example. I have put it together, but it comes with its own cards that you can just take out from here and then use it on these books. It's for maybe like a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, because my daughter is still very young. So I honestly have not used it with her, but the fact that I show her different animals on it, she really enjoys it. So it has different kind of activities. So we just saw alphabets, then there are animals. This is her favorite, like I mentioned. She loves, identifying different animals, and she loves mimicking their noises. So that's great. So here are different animals, animal cutouts, in fact, if I may say. monkey, panda, so on and so forth. So you can just paste it based on the activity. Then there is this one, which is, I think, learning maths. So there it is. And then there is an elementary cognition book. Alright, so this was more or less the entire collection of books that we have built for our toddler as of now. And obviously it is an ongoing project, and it is going to get more additions to it, and I will keep you updated as much as possible. But if you have any questions regarding books, if you have any questions regarding how do you introduce reading to your kid, we are open to that kind of a conversation here. You can consider this as a safe space. You can ask me questions. I usually read to my kid during bedtime, but any time is a good time to read. If you need links to any of these products, obviously I won't be able to help you with the hands-me down products because they're like more than a decade, 2.5 decades old. So that will be a problem, but I'll try to find a product at least close to that one and maybe link it down below. You should really go and read a blog that I've written on these books and this collection, and now how I have kind of divided the whole, I have divided the entire collection into different parts. And there are certain books that are safe to be left in the hands of the child, and some are not. So based on that, I have written that blog. And if you like it, if you like conversations like these, if you found this informative, if you found that this was helpful to you, I would just ask you to follow along. Please subscribe to my channel and keep the conversation on, and I'll see you very soon.